So, welcome back to another episode of Pro Gear Reviews. Basically, this is just going to do a continuation of when I did this hex cam paint on my gun case. So this continuation, we're basically going to try and mimic this Mandrake cam pattern. We're going to be using some spray paint and just a few brushes and seeing how close we can get. Not sure if it's called Mandrake, but the two colors we're using is the same, matte green and tan. You want to get a palette, something that's deep enough to spray the paint into so that it doesn't dry straight away. You can see it's almost, you can see that it's runny there. It does dry, so you want something deep enough that you can spray it into without it drying straight away. And then you're going to want a fine brush. I grabbed a couple here. I ended up using the one on the right just because it was a finer point. And I just started stenciling, or not stenciling, but tracing the stencil. You can see the hat on the left. There's two different types of snake pattern that they did. One has the circle filled with the lines on the outside, and then on the actual lid of the hat itself, it's hollow with the two green lights, and that's green lines. So what we're doing here is we're basically just copying that. We're going to see how close we can get with just a paintbrush and some spray paint. If you remember, doing the stencil itself was super easy, very straightforward. Even if you got a little bit of overspray, it looked just fine. The end result, when I did the hex stencil, it just seemed like it was missing something. It didn't seem complete. And once I finished doing this on the case, now obviously the whole video isn't me doing this the entire time. I'm gonna cut to the finished product, but once I finished, the result of me doing this striping here and mimicking the mandrake or the snake pattern actually turned out quite well. There's a pretty good contrast on the beige. Which you'll see in about a second here, but the beige on green was a different result than the green on beige, and actually I was pretty satisfied with it because snake skin is very different depending on the snake. When compared to the hat, let me see here. When compared to the hat, the result is, I don't know, it's pretty favorable. It's much better than just the hexagon stencil itself. So if anything, I would strongly encourage anybody to take the time, spend a few minutes, and trace the stencil out with a little bit of paint and a brush, and you'll be much more satisfied with the results. And that's it. That's Pro Gear Reviews. That's the second half of the Mandrake stencil for the gun case. Thanks for watching.